Hello everyone. So we're working on the forged skin pattern layout, and I'm trying to make a condensed version so it's not really long. Okay, so when we go back and forth, there's a couple things we need to note here real quick. Number one, our inside dimension, or our diameter on the inside, is 14 inches by 20 inches deep, and then we're 6 inches in, 6 inch center to center, 2.5 inch pipe being 2 7/8 OD. Then we need to offset this down 1.5 inches. Okay, so we'll reference this a little bit. So I'm going to come here to AutoCAD, and I've already started some of this drawing just to kind of make it a little bit faster. Alright, so first thing we did is I drew a 14-inch diameter piece. I drew a straight line, and then I polar rated. I got 4 sections. I went ahead and come down 1.5 inches, and then I put a big long progression out here. This is 2 7/8 this dimension here. Excuse me. And I'll do that projection here in a second. But let's talk about this rollout pattern. So this is quadrant 1. I want my weld seam to be on the bottom. So I'm in quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you remember from the Cartesian coordinate system, this is where, you know, right here is where X is positive and Y is positive, and then you've got X is negative and Y is positive. So remember those quadrants and how we dealt with that when we were doing the CNC programming on the plasma. Okay? Alright, so I laid this out in the same progression, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how did I come to those numbers? Real quick, let's just refresh our math. We had a 14-inch diameter times pi ends up being 43.98. That's my overall length of that entire piece. Okay, and then to find those quadrants, I took that and I just divided it by 4, ending up with 10.995 for each one. So I drew a line up 10.995 straight across, copied this from here, just replicated it, so now I've got 4 sections to make it nice and easy. Okay, alright, so now let's get into the stuff that's pretty hard, that you haven't done, I should say. I'm going to take a circle. From this case, this is 2 7/8 OD. I'm going to go ahead and do a 2-point circle. Start here to here. Alright. There's a couple different things I can do. Let me polar array here. I'm going to take this piece here since it's in the middle. And can't necessarily do that because it's tied to that. So let me break those apart. Now let me take polar array. Grab this piece here, right click, and I'm going to do it from the midpoint. Okay, I want 12 sections. Enter. Close my array. So you're going to remember this. This was exactly like our beginning radial pattern developments that we did in our AutoCAD classes. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. So I'm going to do a couple different things here. Let me use this funky color here, okay? So I'm going to start drawing me some polylines. First one I'm going to draw, I'm going to go ahead and just draw that one, okay? It's blue. So once I've got this done, instead of drawing each one and spending time like we did, I'm going to go ahead and just copy it from here, set it there, 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 and then to this one, okay? Makes my life a little bit easier. Everything's exactly where it needs to be. They're touching where they should be, and that's my projection onto that outside flat skin. So remember, from one side of this, when we're looking at it from the front of the forge, this is kind of elongated. It's basically a surface, right? So it's a vector, but you could think of it as an elliptical. Okay, when I look at it from the other direction, from this direction, it's a straight circle. So one side is definitely just going to be this, but from here I've got this elongated surface that comes back a certain area, which we know from doing our radial pattern developments and our true links. This is going to be different. This isn't 2 7/8. That's a lot longer than that. Okay, so I'll show you that here at the end. I've got these measurements already laid out. Should have them for an example to do this pattern. Alright, let's get back to AutoCAD and we will go from there. Okay, so I really shouldn't have to do any more physical measuring at that point. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start laying this out. Okay, so So this is somewhat hard to see sometimes, but remember from our front, let's say this side here is our front projection. So we need to be 6 inches back to the first pipe, 6 inches to the other one, and then 8. Now I could draw out 2 big circles up here and everything else, but I don't necessarily need to. Okay? Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to break it apart. I'm going to grab this line right here. I'm going to do an offset on it. Offset distance is 6. Enter. Boom. There you go. I'm going to grab this. Offset distance is 6. Enter. There you go. I'm only going to do one of these because once I've done one of these and I set it up to center, then I'm just going to copy and paste it to there. I don't necessarily need to do both. Alright. So here's our welded seam, which is on the bottom, quadrant 1, quadrant 2. So this is the halfway point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start my circle projection from here out. Alright. So I'm going to take a center diameter circle. I'm going to start here. And I'm going to go out 2.7 or 2.875, 10 7/8 inches. Press enter. Okay. This is a little bit hard to see, so let me take that to a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and make that white. Okay. Escape. So I'm quite a ways down here from when I first start my first one. You could say I'm pretty close to halfway, so I'm not too worried at this point. Let me take this one here. I'll go ahead and break it apart. Don't really have anything that can go there, so let me go ahead and just draw another poly line in here on this. Boom. Boom. Okay. And then this one's back to that blue, and that's okay, especially for this one. I'm going to pull it array up. Same thing. Center point's going to be here. I want 12 divisions, giving me 30 degrees per inch increment, 360 divided by 12 means that I end up with 30 degrees for each segment. Okay, naturally if I'm doing pipe, I would want to maybe be doing 22s and 45s, so then I would want to go, what's that, 22 degrees, 360 divided by 45, 2 per 4, so 8, or you could double it for 22.5 degrees, so 16 divisions for 22.5 degrees each. Okay, alright, so we'll get to that. This section's already done. And so again, looking at it from this side, this doesn't change. This is 2 7/8. My curved surface is this way, not this direction. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and start developing this, and you'll see how these two tie together. All right. So I'm going to be fairly quick at it, and I think you'll be able to see it just fine. I'm not going to spend a ton of time trying to do this. I'm basically just going to do a whole bunch of circles at this point. So here. Pick up right, repeat circle, pick that up. I'm just gonna, oh, sorry, I don't want to do that. My fault, circle again. And then I can go from here to there. Let me switch to yellow, repeat circle, here. Everything is ratio, so everything's from center to the outside. And it makes life much easier than having to sit there and worry about a lot of it. And if you remember right, this is exactly what we did on finding those true lengths on basically our squared around. Okay, so take this to sand. Again, same thing here to here. I am in my office, so if somebody knocks on the door, bear with me. Big circle. And this is kind of where I want to make sure I'm there. Make sure to zoom in, because there's a lot of little lines and things that it's going to catch on. So, okay, circle. I have one more to do, and then it'll be in good shape. Okay. So from there to there. All right. So now it is simply just a pattern of doing a couple things. Basically, I'm just going to copy from center. I'm going to go to here. Escape. Repeat copy. I need to catch this small red one. Sorry. Center. And we need that one. Okay. Because remember, that's where the two come together. Alright. Repeat copy. Same thing here. Click. Okay, so from there, now I just need to start doing a progression of lines coming across. I know sometimes people can do them different things. I'm going to go ahead and do these in a hidden line real quick. I didn't have this loaded, that's my fault. But let's just do fast dash line, dash 2. Okay. Let me do these in white, and I'll do my pattern projections from there. Okay, poly line. I'm just going to come across, and I'm going to go ahead and extend it out here really far. I can change this out here in a second. Okay, from here I'm just going to copy there, 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 and remember I have one last little one. Okay, so as you can tell, this distance, this circle is smaller than this one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines and divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do another polyline, and I'm going to start from up here, and I'm going to go ahead and run this one down. Now I know this one goes to my center point, so if I come back to this key point, I'm just going to go down there, escape. And actually, let me take that one a little bit further for now. We'll be fine. Okay. Let me just copy this. Take this one here from this base point here. Tack it there. Okay, so from this point, basically I just need to trim these pieces up. Okay, my far outside one's going to be the top. I need to connect this to there. Take this one to there. Do the same thing. Those two are just fine. So let me just take this one down to there. This one to there. Okay, so escape. And now at this point I can start drawing my pattern. So I'm going to go back to a continuous line. And I'm going to go to red. And I'm going to go ahead and just start up here at top dead center. Okay. So here, to there, to there, to there. Now at this point I can just mirror it, but I'm already going to get a pattern going. Just like when we were doing the radio patterns. Okay, escape. Now that's my elongated piece. Okay, so let me show you something real quick. I want you to see the difference of going from there to there. So just like those true links, we started out with a 2 7/8 inch diameter pipe, and now we're at 3.64. Okay. All right. At this point, just copy and paste this one over to here. Everything will be good. Then you've got the pattern, your outside dimensions, and you'll be able to cut this out from there. Okay, hoping to keep this short and sweet. Thank you for being with me on the Forge Skin layout. Hopefully this makes sense. Try it until you get really efficient.